Hello, and thank you for stopping by. Have you ever felt exhausted from constantly cleaning only to see your home still cluttered? I've been there too, feeling like I couldn't get a handle on my space. It's like a never-ending battle with piles of things, and no matter how many times I clean it, always ends up messy again by the end of the day. But after a lot of trial and error, I've figured out a few simple yet highly effective ways to keep my home organized without spending all my time cleaning. I've been using these tips in my own home with 4 people and 3 kids, and after 3 months, I haven't had to start from scratch once. These methods really work and are easy to maintain. The first tip is something I wish I'd known 5 years ago. Don't miss it. Let's start with breaking down the overwhelming tasks. It's easy to feel like you're buried under the mess when you look at an entire room that needs organizing. You stand there staring at the pile, wondering where to even start. It feels so overwhelming that you don't know where to begin, and suddenly it's easier to just ignore it. The trick I've learned is to break down the task into smaller, manageable chunks. Instead of thinking, I need to organize the whole kitchen, break it down into 5 or 10 smaller tasks. Maybe start with clearing off the counter or organizing just the drawers that are most used. For example, one day I decided to tackle the pantry. Instead of saying, I'll organize the whole pantry, I broke it down into smaller tasks. First, I cleared out expired items, then I sorted cans into categories, and finally, I reorganized the shelves so everything was easy to grab. It didn't take long, and I felt accomplished after each step. This method reduces the mental block of an overwhelming task and allows you to see progress faster. Plus, when you break it down, the idea of tackling the entire space feels much more achievable. I will continue to share more organizing tips tomorrow, so stay tuned. Now that you've tackled a small part, let's talk about keeping everything organized once you've started. Let's talk about keeping things organized with simple systems. After breaking things down into smaller tasks, the next step is to maintain the organization. It's easy for things to slip back into chaos if there's no system in place to keep them organized. But the good news is you don't need a complex system, just simple, easy-to-follow routines that work for you. For example, I started using clear storage bins for my pantry items. Instead of just throwing everything on the shelves, I grouped similar items together in labeled bins, one for snacks, one for baking supplies, one for canned goods, etc. This way, when I'm cooking, I can quickly grab what I need without having to search through a jumbled mess. The key here is to make it easy for yourself to maintain order. If things have a designated spot, it's easier to put them away and harder for clutter to accumulate. And remember, consistency is everything. Once you get into the habit, it becomes second nature. Now let's move on to another simple yet effective tip for organizing your space. If you've ever lived in a space that's short on storage, you know how frustrating it can be to make things fit. It's like trying to squeeze into jeans you haven't worn in years. Awkward and unnecessary. But here's the good news. Sometimes you don't need to buy a whole new set of furniture to get better organization. You just need to add some drawers. For instance, in my closet, there was a lot of unused space beneath the hanging clothes. Instead of leaving it empty or crammed with random items, because who doesn't have a random pile of things somewhere, I found pull-out drawers that fit perfectly into that space. This simple addition created a much more functional area for storing shoes, scarves, and even extra towels. The best part: it didn't require major renovations or expensive solutions, just a little bit of measuring and searching for drawers that fit the space. You don't need to become a carpenter to make it work. Promise. Adding drawers where there are none gives you more hidden storage and helps keep your things out of sight but easily accessible. It's a small change that makes a huge difference in maintaining an organized home. No more shoving things under the bed in a panic. Next, let's dive into how you can keep everything tidy inside your drawers with dividers. Trust me, your socks will thank you. Drawer dividers sound simple, but they are game changers when it comes to keeping things neat and tidy. Ever open a drawer and find everything jumbled together? Pens, papers, random receipts. It's like a junk drawer exploded. The beauty of dividers is that they create compartments so everything has its own space and the chaos just disappears. I started using dividers in my kitchen drawers where I store utensils. Instead of having spoons, knives, and forks jumbled together in one big mess, I separated them into sections, spoons in one compartment, knives in another, and so on. It makes a huge difference, especially when you need to grab something in a hurry. No more fishing around for a clean fork while you're cooking dinner. Not only do dividers keep everything organized, but they also help you maintain that organization long term. When everything has its own designated spot, it's easier to put things back where they belong. And if you're anything like me, keeping a system means you'll be less likely to let things pile up again. So next time you feel like your drawers are a disaster zone, try adding some dividers. It's like giving your clutter its own little home, and you'll thank yourself every time you open that drawer. Now, if you're ready to tackle another part of your home, let's take on the pantry and give those shelves a makeover. When it comes to organizing, the pantry can be one of the most chaotic areas in the house. Half-empty bags of chips, spices that have spilled everywhere, and cans you can't even remember buying in it all. Adds up quickly, doesn't it? A simple solution is to group similar items together and decant anything that's just sitting in messy packaging. I started by transferring dry goods like pasta flour and sugar into clear labeled containers. Not only does it look so much more organized, but it also helps me find things faster and prevents things from getting lost in the back. For example, instead of keeping the bag of flour that always rips open and spills all over the shelf, I poured it into a sturdy, airtight container. Now I can grab it easily without making a mess, and I don't have to worry about flour spilling everywhere. Plus, I can see exactly how much I have left. When you start grouping like items together, spices in one bin, snacks in another, it's much easier to take inventory of what you need and prevent overbuying. Plus, everything is much easier to grab when you're cooking or meal prepping. Now that your pantry is looking neat and organized, let's move on to keeping your kitchen surfaces clean and clutter-free. One of the easiest ways to make your kitchen look instantly cleaner is by keeping the surfaces clear. It's so tempting to leave a pile of mail, a random coffee cup, or the kids' homework on the counter, but clutter quickly builds up and makes everything look chaotic. I started by dedicating one spot in the kitchen for all the stuff that tends to pile up, things like keys, mail, and the occasional stray cup. The rest of the counter stays clear for actual cooking and food prep. And believe me, it makes a huge difference. For example, every night before bed, I take 5 minutes to wipe down the counter and put everything back in its place. It doesn't sound like much, but after a week of doing this, my kitchen feels so much calmer and more organized. It also means I can start my day without feeling like I have to dig through a bunch of clutter just to make a cup of coffee. It's all about setting a simple habit that keeps the space under control. If your kitchen looks tidy, it's easier to feel at ease when you're cooking or even just grabbing a snack. Now that your kitchen counters are clean and clear, let's talk about how to keep your living room organized without breaking a sweat. The living room often becomes the catch-all for things like blankets, remote controls, kids' toys, and random mail. Before you know it, your cozy space looks more like a storage unit than a relaxing place. But here's the good news. Baskets are your best friend for this. I started using baskets to organize everything in my living room. A basket by the couch for blankets, another for kids' toys, and a smaller one for the remotes and chargers. Instead of having things scattered around, everything has a designated spot, and it's so much easier to tidy up in minutes. For instance, whenever my kids finish playing, they know to put their toys in the basket. It's an easy habit to maintain, and the room stays much cleaner. Plus, it adds a nice touch to the decor. The baskets look intentional and stylish, not just like a quick fix. Keeping things organized in the living room doesn't have to mean being hyper-precise. Just putting everything back in its basket at the end of the day makes the space feel a lot more put together. If you're anything like me, the bathroom counter can quickly turn into a dumping ground for beauty products, toothpaste tubes, and the occasional hair tie. And before you know it, you've got a cluttered mess that makes it hard to feel relaxed or refreshed in your own bathroom. A simple solution is to minimize what you keep on the counter and organize the rest. I started by getting a small tray to hold my daily essentials, things like my toothbrush, soap, and lotion. Everything else went into a cabinet or drawer. Now I can see exactly what I need at a glance, and my bathroom counter always looks neat and tidy. For example, I used to have all my makeup spread out across the counter. But after using a small organizer to store it all in one place, it's so much easier to find what I need without making a mess. The best part, I don't have to spend 5 minutes digging through a cluttered drawer every morning. By clearing up the space on the counter, the bathroom feels instantly bigger, cleaner, and more peaceful. It's amazing how much a little tidying up can make a difference. Your home office desk can quickly turn into a mini disaster zone. Papers, pens, coffee cups, and random notes everywhere. And let's be honest, it's hard to stay productive in a space that feels chaotic. The first step I took was clearing off the desk completely. I removed everything, including the piles of paperwork that were collecting dust. Then, I only added back the essentials, my laptop, a notepad, and a few pens. Everything else, like extra paperwork or office supplies, went into drawers or bins out of sight, but easily accessible when I need them. For example, I use a small organizer for my pens, sticky notes, and paper clips, which keeps them neat and in one place. Instead of shuffling through random piles, I know exactly where everything is. It takes just a few minutes each morning to tidy up the desk, and it sets the tone for a more focused and productive day. A clean, organized desk not only looks better, but also helps you stay on top of tasks without distractions. It's amazing how a little bit of order can clear your mind and help you focus. The closet is one of those places where clutter can sneak up on you. A few extra jackets, shoes you never wear, or seasonal items that never make it back into storage, and suddenly, your closet is bursting at the seams. I started by taking everything out of my closet and sorting through each item. I asked myself, have I worn this in the last 6 months? If the answer was no, it went straight into a donation pile. Then I put everything back in, but this time I made sure to group like items together, shoes in one area, jackets in another, and bags neatly tucked away in their own section. For example, I used slim velvet hangers for my clothes to save space and prevent everything from slipping off. It made a huge difference in how much I could fit in, and it helped everything stay organized and easy to find. Now I can open my closet without feeling overwhelmed by piles of clothes. And the best part, when it's time to get dressed, I don't have to dig through a mess. I know exactly where everything is. The entryway is the first thing you see when you come home. But it's often the last place we think about organizing. Shoes, bags, mail coats, they all end up piling up, making your entryway feel cluttered and chaotic before you even walk through the door. I decided to dedicate a small space for each item that tends to collect at the door. I put a basket near the entry, for shoes, a hook for coats and bags, and a small tray for keys and mail. This simple setup keeps everything in its place, and I never have to search for my keys or step over shoes when I walk in. For example, I use a small bench by the door to sit and take off shoes, but underneath I keep a bin for the kids' shoes. That way, it's easy to grab a pair when we're heading out, and the floor never gets covered in mismatched shoes. By organizing your entryway, you immediately create a sense of calm the moment you walk in. It's a quick fix that helps prevent clutter from building up throughout the day. Kitchen drawers can easily become a catch-all for all sorts of things: spoons, napkins, takeout menus, random rubber bands. But let's face it, when everything is crammed into one drawer, finding what you need becomes a game of where did it go and not a fun one. I started by using simple drawer organizers to separate my utensils. Instead of tossing everything into one drawer, I gave each item its own space. I used dividers to separate forks, spoons, and knives, and smaller containers for things like rubber bands, straws, and twist ties. It's now so much easier to grab a spoon without digging through a mess. For example, I added a small compartment for measuring spoons, which used to be lost at the bottom of the drawer. Now they're neatly stacked and easy to access whenever I'm cooking. Plus, the best part, it takes just a few minutes to tidy up at the end of the day and everything stays in its place. Organizing your kitchen drawers not only helps reduce clutter, but makes cooking and meal prep much smoother. You'll be amazed at how much time you save when everything has its own spot. The laundry room often ends up as one of the most chaotic spaces in the house. Dirty clothes, cleaning supplies, dryer sheets, mismatched socks. It's easy for everything to pile up, leaving you feeling overwhelmed before you even start the laundry. I decided to simplify things by creating a dedicated space for everything. First, I separated laundry supplies like detergent and fabric softener into baskets, keeping them organized and easy to grab. I also set up a small section for dirty clothes, one bin for lights, one for darks, so I can sort them as I go instead of getting stuck in a massive sorting pile. For example, I used a hanging organizer for small items like lint rollers, dryer balls, and stain removers. This small space-saving hack made a huge difference, and I no longer have to scramble around looking for what I need when it's time to do laundry. The best part, now, laundry feels less like a chore and more like a simple task I can get done in a few minutes. Everything is neatly stored, and I'm not wasting time digging through a mess. The bathroom is another area where clutter can accumulate quickly. Think toiletries, makeup towels, and all the other random items that never seem to have a home. It's easy for everything to spill out of cabinets and drawers, making the space feel cramped and messy. I started by adding some simple organizers to my bathroom. First, I cleared out the drawers and cabinets, then added small bins and organizers for toiletries, medicine, and makeup. Instead of everything being thrown together, each item now has a specific spot, and it's much easier to find exactly what I need. For example, I used a clear acrylic organizer for my makeup so I can see everything at a glance. I also put up a few hooks on the inside of the bathroom door for extra towels and robes, freeing up space in the cabinets. Little tweaks like this made a big difference in how much I can store without making the space feel cluttered. By maximizing your bathroom storage, you not only create a cleaner, more organized space, but also save time by not having to dig through clutter when you need something. With your bathroom organized, let's move on to creating a system for managing your home's paperwork. Paperwork bills, school forms, mail receipts can quickly pile up and create unnecessary clutter in your home. I used to let it stack up on the kitchen counter, and before I knew it, I had a mountain of papers I had to dig through just to find what I needed. To tackle this, I created a simple filing system that helped me keep everything in check. I set up a small filing box with folders labeled by category: one for bills, one for important documents, and one for school-related papers. This way, when something comes in, I know exactly where it goes, and I don't have to waste time sorting through a pile of papers every week. For example, I keep a designated to-do folder for any documents or forms that require my immediate attention. It's a small habit, but it keeps everything from piling up, and I can handle things quickly when they come in. By staying on top of paperwork, you avoid the chaos of last-minute searches and the stress of trying to remember where you put important documents. This system makes it much easier to maintain a clutter-free home. And there you have it, 15 simple yet effective tips to help you organize and declutter your home one step at a time. From clearing kitchen counters to organizing your bathroom storage, these small changes can make a big difference in creating a space that feels calm and under control. If you're looking for ways to save time, reduce stress, and enjoy a more organized living space, these tips are the perfect place to start. Remember, it's all about consistency. Taking a few minutes each day to keep things in place can make a world of difference. So start with one area, apply these tips, and see how much easier it is to maintain a clutter-free environment. Trust me, you'll feel a lot lighter and more at peace with every step forward. If you found these tips helpful, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more practical home organization ideas. You deserve a space that supports your peace of mind and productivity.